Hey everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving into the economic future of Sudan. And, it's a topic that obviously carries an incredible amount of weight, but honestly, there is immense hope here too. We're going to go on a really exciting journey today about shifting our perspectives, uncovering some massive hidden value, and charting a super practical path forward to generate real local wealth.
So let's just dive right in with a question that, well, it hits pretty hard. Why do we sell our wealth as dirt and buy it back as gold? It's kind of the painful everyday reality, right? Exporting raw, unrefined materials for literally pennies, only to turn right around and import those exact same resources as expensive, finished goods.
Now, this paradox is actually the core dilemma explored in a really highly anticipated upcoming book. It's called Al-Masloob, or Stolen Gold, written by Alaeldeen Al-Bishri Omer. In fact, this whole explainer today is basically a concise visual summary of this soon-to-be-published book, which lays out a definitive step-by-step roadmap to industrialization. We're going to break down its most powerful concepts for you right now. To do that, we've broken things down into 5 steps. Number 1, the stolen gold mystery. 2, the painful raw export gap. 3, factory versus field mentality. 4, value chain, field to shelf. And finally, number 5, quality, your export passport.
All right, let's jump into part 1, the stolen gold mystery, uncovering the lost value. When we talk about the economy, it is incredibly easy to fall into this trap of thinking it's all an issue of scarcity, like we just don't have enough. But the author makes a really compelling argument here. This isn't a lack of resources. It's a mystery of lost value. The gold is absolutely there. It's just kind of slipping right through our fingers. His frustration is palpable right from the introduction where he asks, why do we export our raw materials, then import our food and added value? It's the ultimate paradox. And look, if you're involved in agriculture or business at all, that probably validates the exact frustration you've been feeling with the status quo.
Which brings us to section 2, the painful raw export gap, a losing equation. This builds into what the author sharply identifies as the painful gap. It's that exact space where resources leave our hands right before they ever reach their true economic maturity. Think about it like this. We export raw, bulk sesame out into the world, right? Only to turn around and import these expensive jars of tahini. We ship out raw peanuts and we buy back branded peanut butter. Hibiscus leaves as raw bulk and comes back in premium tea bags. We export raw livestock and import processed packaged meats. We are literally doing all the heavy lifting, all the farming, and then just giving away the absolute most lucrative part of the whole process, the manufacturing. And when you move from exporting those raw bulk commodities to processing them into value-added products, you aren't just making, a slightly better margin. You're looking at exponential profit increases, a massive multiplier. We are talking about finally capturing that stolen gold that usually just gets handed over to foreign manufacturers, completely transforming our economic baseline. Let's look at section 3, factory versus field mentality, a necessary paradigm shift. Okay, so recognizing this gap is one thing, right? But how do we actually bridge it? Well, it requires a fundamental shift in how investors, farmers, and entrepreneurs view their produce. We're contrasting 2 completely different mindsets here. The traditional agricultural mentality focuses almost entirely on the field. Grow it, harvest it, sell it fast in bulk, and usually raw and cheap. But the industrial mentality? That starts right where the harvest ends. It focuses on processing, building a global brand, extending shelf life, and actually commanding premium pricing. This really debunks that old myth that simply being a food basket is enough. True sustainable wealth doesn't just come from planting seeds, it comes from building brands. The book emphasizes what it calls the industrial engineer's focus. And it's not about just, throwing money at shiny new equipment. It's about asking structured questions. Things like, what is the exact process flow here? Or where does the raw material enter? And what exact state does the final product exit? It's a pretty dramatic shift from worrying only about seed size or how much it rained to obsessing over process optimization and efficiency. Moving right along to section 4, value chain, field to shelf. So how do we actually take that industrial mindset and connect the dusty field directly to a pristine consumer shelf? Transforming raw Sudanese products into a really reliable food industry means building an unbreakable loop, one that connects the farmer, the investor, and the quality manager into one continuous, unified ecosystem. It really shows that value addition is a team sport. It requires integration at absolutely every single step of the journey. This value chain basically breaks down into 4 super actionable steps for local investors. Step 1, raw materials sourcing and sorting. Step 2, the actual processing. So that's your drying, cooling, pressing, things like that. Step 3, rigorous inspection and quality checks. And step 4, final packaging. And the best part, you don't need some massive multinational corporation to start doing this. A small to medium enterprise can implement this exact structured flow and start capturing more value almost immediately.
And that leads us to our final section, number 5, quality, your export passport, the Saudi market model.
Because here's the thing, there is a gatekeeper to making all of this work on a global scale. Regional markets are going to ask some very strict, non-negotiable questions before they ever let your product cross their borders. Things like, where did it come from? Who made it? Is it absolutely safe? Is the label perfectly clear? Is it halal? Can the entire shipment be traced all the way back to the exact farm? These aren't just polite suggestions, they are the bare minimum hurdles for export. If you want to play in the global market, traceability and safety are basically your entry fee. Now, don't panic. Meeting these standards doesn't mean you need to build some billion-dollar industrial complex. It really just starts with basic, disciplined factory requirements. Strictly separating your clean and unclean areas, installing floors that you can actually wash easily, having proper ventilation, rigorous pest control, and using food-grade stainless steel equipment. It's really about operational discipline and having a sanitary mindset from day one, rather than just having tons of raw capital. At the end of the day, quality and adhering to standards like HACCP isn't just some annoying administrative hoop to jump through. It is your actual passport to export. It's honestly far more important than just having access to the raw materials, because raw materials just give you potential. Quality gives you a market. So I want to leave you with this provocative final question from the book. Can your product carry a powerful Sudanese story through excellent packaging and marketing? Because it's not just about the food inside the jar, right? It's about the value, the story, and the real pride wrapped around it. Definitely keep an eye out for the upcoming release of Al-Dhahab Al-Maslub, or Stolen Gold by Alaeldeen Al-Bishri Omer. It's going to give you the complete, definitive roadmap on this entire topic. Thank you so much for learning with us on this explainer, and we will catch you next time.